Hey group, Reaching Omega 82 here as we continue our Fantastic Four series, with each episode dealing with 4 items concerning the Fantastic Four. Right now, very little is known about the MCU's version of the movie, and as of this date, we have yet to even have a confirmed cast. Still, it is great to conjecture on what direction this may all take. And as I was looking over the past 60 years of Fantastic Four stories and comics, books, games, and other media, I decided that there are aspects of this team that are essential to their overall story in film. Thus, I have decided that there are 4 concepts that must appear in the MCU's Fantastic Four movie. Now, I have no desire to make a video of what you all basically know, so no, I will not be talking about aspects of the team such as they are great explorers or they are a family. We know this, and we are sure that these themes will be included in the upcoming MCU movie. This list is in addition to what is obvious. Number 1. The first thing we must see are the full extent of their powers. They are not just ordinary heroes, they are the world's greatest superheroes, so we must see them as such. For example, Mr. Fantastic can do more than just stretch his limbs. He can withstand the barrage of a brigade's military and toss it all back. He can make replicas of himself that are all connected to him as they all work toward a single goal. He can slip into the costume of an armor-suited character such as a Cobalt Man, who is an evil version of Iron Man, and undo all the gadgets and weapons that he has in seconds. He can stretch his brain to increase his already incredible intellect. In fact, he once even morphed his brain, which allowed him to use Cerebro, which can usually only be used by Professor X and other mentally mutated beings. Sue, the Invisible Woman, is perhaps the most powerful member of the team. She can do more than turn invisible and create force fields. She can create force bubbles in people's heads, causing those heads to explode. She can create all kinds of items and objects from her invisible fields, similar to the powers of DC's Green Lantern, only you cannot see her attacks coming. She has defeated the Hulk and even blew a hole through a Celestial. Characters like Thor and Captain America themselves would have to be impressed by those feats. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. He is often overlooked. The movies treat him as a guy who can simply fly and project fire blasts. At best, they will have him use his Nova Flame, but longtime readers know his powers go beyond that. In the classic Lee Kirby days, he could use his powers to create reflections and even clones of himself, confusing his enemies. He can absorb heat from his enemies, freezing them in their tracks. He can also create heat currents so powerful that gusts of wind result from them that were enough to defeat the X-Men's Storm, who is considered a goddess of the winds. Now that is incredible. In addition to that, the Human Torch has some impressive victories in his history. For example, he defeated She-Hulk in the Contest of Champions. He also defeated enemies that could take on entire teams of Avengers. For example, he by himself defeated Ultron in the Secret Wars, and he soloed Graviton in the Inferno crossover. And let's not forget about the Thing. Ben Grimm is more than just superhumanly strong. His power is immense. In classic stories, we see him accomplish incredible feats, like using an alien skyscraper as a baseball bat to hit an invading UFO into outer space. In the early 2000s, he fought in a war of good and evil spawn of his exoskeleton, where they were all using weapons forged out of condensed skyscrapers that they compacted themselves with their bare hands. We've even seen him jump out of spaceships, fall through the atmosphere of the planet, and land ready for battle without a scratch on him. We've seen him fight the Hulk and even has victories over the Green Goliath. His power levels have varied over the years due to Reed Richards trying to cure him, but we have seen versions of him capable of withstanding Wolverine's adamantium claws like they were made of styrofoam. In a modern story, we saw him take energy blasts from Galactus that could cut a planet in half. He not only survived, but kept on fighting. In a classic Lee Kirby story, we saw him exert enough pressure to overpower a machine that could push through a planet. Think about this. He can withstand planet-destroying blasts and can exert enough power to destroy a planet. This makes him a planet buster. This power needs to be taken seriously in the movie. Speaking of planet busters, let's not forget Fantastic Four baddies like Galactus, who can devour planets and even stars. In a Marvel DC crossover, Superman was completely out of his league facing off against Galactus and was easily defeated. I recently read a debate over who was more powerful, DC's Darkseid or Marvel's Galactus. I can't believe that was even discussed, because in an official crossover by the legendary John Byrne, Darkseid was powerless before Galactus. Now, Galactus may seem unstoppable, but no one is unstoppable when facing the might of Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is a master of science, sorcery, and other fantastical arts. He has defeated cosmic gods, including Galactus, the Watcher, the Beyonder, and other numerous beings. Again, this power needs to be taken seriously in the movie, which brings us to our next concept. Number 2, the struggle with power. The Fantastic Four fear what path their powers may lead them down, and this has been a theme from the very beginning. In the first issue of Fantastic Four, the Human Torch accidentally destroyed some jets that were flying too close and investigating him. In the 90s, he was hunted by the Secret Defenders for accidentally destroying a college with his powers. The Thing was seen facing off against the seemingly unstoppable powerhouse of a monstrosity, only for it to be a version of him projected by the Psycho Man. This projection was of Ben's deepest fear, being an unstoppable monster, even more menacing to humanity than the Hulk, or the other characters that the FF fight against. Sue spent time struggling with a hidden personality within her known as Malice, which almost killed all of her teammates, which at that time included the She-Hulk. And let's not forget about Reed Richards. He has many future and alternate versions of himself that are villainous, and even in his current state often struggles with what it means to be good. At any time, he could go the path of the other Reed Richards, such as the villainous Maker. The third item on our list is multiple dimensions and planes of existence. Yes, I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but that movie simply introduced the concept of traveling to these other dimensions. The Fantastic Four would actually explore and see how they are related and how they impact one another. Their travels would bring them to encounter not only alternate versions of the main MCU, but also strange places, such as the negative zone, where they would encounter Annihilus, Blastar, and other horrors. Number 4, training a new generation. That is the fourth item on our list. The Fantastic Four does not patrol the streets stopping muggers and purse snatchers. They don't look for bank robbers. They are scientists and explorers who hope to make the world a better place. One way they do this is by training and teaching young superpowered scientists. These students have been interesting and have added diversity to the team, diversity of talent, diversity of power, skills, as well as diversity of culture, religion, race, and orientation. These future explorers is what the Marvel Cinematic Universe needs to move forward with new adventures and movies. So, what do you think? What do you feel is essential to a Fantastic Four movie? Please let me know by commenting below. And remember to like and share the video. Thank you all for your time, and we'll see you next time.